thought you said we were having a big guest star.
We are, he's right there.
I thought he'd be taller. So one of the more unlikely options for Marvel was to make an AntMan movie. Bit unexpected, but it has been one which has been on the slate for quite a while now.
Are you ready to become the hero?
I enjoyed the movie, but not as much as I'd hoped. To me, it felt very much like a Phase 1 movie rather than a Phase 3.
Yeah, it felt a little bit like the first Iron Man, really, didn't it?
There were a lot of echoes of the first Iron Man, and you're going to get that when your basic premise is, here's this technology, somebody's trying to weaponize it, and the good guys are trying to stop them. But there was certainly a lot of good things out of it. You know, the way they approached the miniaturization and some of the microscopic action that they had going on was really cool.
And the environments he was in when he was really tiny, sort of the way it stretched right out was really cool. I think that was, you know, there's been a bit of miniaturization done in movies for quite a long time, you know, way back even to the 50s and stuff. And this was a really new approach to it, and I think they did it really well. It looked really cool. Paul Rudd did a really good job.
He did.
As Ant-Man, as Scott.
Scott Lang.
Yeah, and he was really likable. He is, I mean, everyone knows who he is anyway, but he was really good. He was solid. He was comedic when he needed to be, but also took things seriously. And he's just a likable guy, you know. It was cool to see Michael Douglas in there. He actually had quite a big role. Like, we'd seen him in the trailers, but, you know, he was there from the start all the way to the end. And he did a good job. He got into it.
I do have to say, I really enjoyed the bit right at the very beginning where we see 1989 S.H.I.E.L.D., where you have Michael Douglas looking like he did in the 80s.
Yeah, I'm still not quite sure how they did that.
Whether it was prosthetics or makeup or
a bit of both.
or a bit of CG, that de-aging, whatever they did, worked really well. But Michael Douglas was really good in that part as Hank Pym. And it does flesh out the Marvel Universe a little bit more in terms of having another super smart guy with a different sort of inventions than Tony Stark.
Yeah, it gave it a bit of history as well. He'd obviously been Ant-Man in the past, and he handed the suit on and the name on to the new character, so that was really cool. That sort of gave it a backstory, which gave the movie a bit more weight. Evangeline Lilly was good. She was great. She was fine. She's, you know, just as she always is, really. No complaints there.
It is really nice that they seem to be setting her up to become the next Wasp
or something
like that.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a little disappointed that we didn't see her suit up, you know, for the third act, sort of like come in at the end of the day and save it.
They could have done that.
Yeah.
That's how you punch.
And the main bad guy, I can't even remember his name.
Well, Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket, yeah. He was a bit underwhelming. He was a bit generic, a bit forgettable.
Well, let's face it, the Yellow Jacket story was pretty much the same as the Obadiah Stane story from Iron Man.
Yeah.
Only without Jeff Bridges there to add that charisma and more interesting relationship between him and Tony, as opposed to what we had between Darren Cross and Hank Pym.
When we met him at the beginning, he was kind of bad straight away, and he continued to be bad. You didn't really understand his motivations or why he was doing what he was doing, other than a few little story points that kind of clarified it, but you were a bit like, okay.
Yeah, the Yellow Jacket design was great. I had no problem with that. It looked really cool. But again, just the character as a whole never gelled for me as being a real terrible threat who must be overcome.
Yeah.
Or even enjoy just watching him being bad.
I ruined the moment, didn't I? Yes, you did.
So we did have some really interesting sequences introducing us to different types of ants and the ways that Ant-Man used the ants to be able to help him in their heist.
Yeah, it was really cool the way he used them to float down the pipe, and used some of them to electrocute the servers in that room. He used bullet ants to sting people and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. He used some to fly around on, which is like the little toy we've got here.
Yep. Look, anything that can make an ant look cute and have people want to go, oh, he's so cute, like that.
Yeah. We haven't seen that since Honey, I Shrunk the Kid.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was kind of cool as well that that sort of crossed over with the Avengers storyline as well.
Yeah.
He ran into Falcon. Falcon, who's just a bit of a generic kind of Avenger, isn't he?
No. I like Falcon. I thought he was really great.
Yeah, I quite like Falcon.
And in terms of having him in this one, it's good to be able to have some of that cross-pollination. And I mean...
you see
what I did there?
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, it's going to be a lower level Avenger because if you have Iron Man in there, then yeah, he's going to beat Ant-Man because he's going to short out his suit or something like that.
Probably for their budget reasons as well. They have to get someone a bit cheap.
Probably.
Cut the check.
A few other side characters that were in there. Michael Pena, who was excellent. I thought he was really funny.
That whole
he added a lot of sort of comedy to it as well. And the whole support team as well. They were kind of comedic. A comedic team. Pretty much all of them were there for comedy, but they worked. They were likable, and they actually proved to be a sort of valuable group that helped them out in the end. So.
They definitely did. Those particular actors were really good in terms of giving a little bit of extra levity to it in a different way than what Paul Rudd did as Scott in the first place.
Yeah. So summing up Ant-Man then.
Yep.
Overall, what would you give it? You know.
Look, I'd give it a solid 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
It's solid. It's dependable. It gives you what you want, but it's not spectacular.
No, it's kind of... We've seen it all before a little bit. I wouldn't fault it for that. No. You know. I think they did the best they could with that particular story.
Yeah, I would have liked to see some more twists to the story, or just a different spin on some aspects of it.
Maybe a slightly better bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. If you had a more interesting bad guy in there, then I think the rest of the story would have lifted its game.
But overall, the character of Ant-Man was absolutely thumbs up from me. The other side characters as well were really solid.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing more Ant-Man, more Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Hopefully more Wasp in the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. Whether that's in a sequel or just them appearing in other movies, I don't mind.
I think we will see them, definitely.
Oh, definitely.
We'll see them again. Anyway, we're out of here for now. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to subscribe and comment and thumbs up, all that stuff. Take care out there.
Bye.